What's up, everybody? It's Kyle, also known as the Panda Man, once again with another episode of Unlocking Your Inner Strength. This is episode 490. 490 straight weeks. Do the math. Coming up on 10 straight years without missing. And there's a lesson that'll segue within that to what I want to talk about today over the next 10 to 15 minutes. But let me catch you up on the weekend. We had a busy weekend. Went to the Scare Farm Friday night, Emma's first time. You guys know I love Halloween. She was back and forth, and then on the way there, I was playing, Halloween theme song. Had a little playlist, on the fly. Fresh Prince, Will Smith, Nightmare on My Street. Right, then we went to 1-2, Freddy's Coming For You. She's getting scared. The boys are with us too, and they brought a friend. And Devin said, "Oh, come on, you're ramping it up." I said, "Listen, there's something called Hebb's Law. What gets fired together gets wired together. It's one of the foundations of mind mapping. So if you think of your favorite song, it became your favorite song because when you kept hearing it, and you liked the song, there was something positive going on in your life. But songs get wired together with moments." And I told Devin, I said, "Trust me, playing these songs, right? Hold on, Muhammad. Maybe at the end I'll ask that. Post it at the end. No, I might answer that. The Hebb's Law, right? Playing the music and getting into the moment, into the mood. Emma will remember that much more. That first time going to the Scare Farm, overcoming her fear. Then I finished with Rockwell. Somebody's always watching me. Kind of ramped back up. We had a good time with that. We had football and cheer on Saturday. Fortunately, both boys lost, but they're playing better. The teams are playing better. We're looking for progression year to year. That's what it's about. Of course, you want to win. But we're making progress. Watched some good college football games. Yesterday I had a nice day. Now, talking about what I want to talk about today, the best investment you can make. Which, by the way, I told people years ago, you should be buying physical assets. I've always believed in real estate, gold, and silver. I understand the stock market, but to me it's just numbers on a screen. Stuff goes sideways and you can't access it. Most people, "Oh, that's not going to happen." Oh, okay, sure. Try to go to the bank and pull out anything more than like $5,000. Watch the hassle they give you because they don't have it there. All fugazi, as they say. But nonetheless, I was telling people, particularly in 2020, I said, start buying silver and gold. Blah, 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 blah. So I started really buying silver when it was about $18 an ounce. Now it's $52, $53. So as a real investment, I know people say it's not an investment. It's going to protect you, right? And there's only upside to that. Now, tying into the best investment you can make. So 490 episodes ago, so let's say that's almost 9.5 years ago, I'd been wanting to start a podcast. And I knew I could do it. But it's one of those things where it's like, I found producer Jonathan Rivera, who's amazing if you're looking to really start a podcast and you want the best in the game to get you set up and just lay out everything. What are you actually trying to do with the podcast? There's a reason I keep most of these to 15 minutes or less. But I said, okay, let me hire Jonathan because I know if I invest into this, a couple grand to start out, I'm going to do it. But I knew that if I was going to invest in it, I would do it. I've done that with other coaches, and John was great. I've invested in coaches that were terrible, but I knew what they were trying to say they knew. If I invested, okay, I'm going to take the action. So investment to drive your actions. The one I want to talk about today, and excuse the wind out here, it's very, what's up, Bobby? Very windy out here. Windy, fall weather. Your fitness. I cannot tell you. Now, I've been in this game personally 27, 28 years. Started actually training people in 2003, 4. Okay. So more than 20 years training and then coaching, right? I can't tell you over the years, I see it more so online, how many people reach out, they want to chat about my programs. And this has nothing to do with my programs. But I just want you to reframe this in your mind. And they want to work on their fitness. But think about Muhammad, you got to get on that gold, man. Like, do it now. Don't keep waiting, guys. Get on the gold and silver. It's going to continue to go up. It's been suppressed for decades. When they took the dollar off the gold standard, it's been suppressed, artificially suppressed. But keep an eye on that. But I can't tell you how many times people that reach out to me, and a lot of them are sad stories, right? Type 2 diabetes, disease, 100, 200 pounds overweight. And then, okay, what does it cost? Well, that's the first thing, right? I can't afford that. No. I'm not putting money into my health, which isn't crazy to me, right? I was talking to one of my good friends, Jared, from Elite Electrical. We become really good friends over the past few years. Started training together, just doing different challenges. We got a half marathon coming up, but at the end of our run yesterday, we did about 11.6. We were talking about people understand investing money, right? But a lot of people still don't do it. Like I said, I've got my theories and what I do with that personally, which has always paid off. But when it comes to their fitness and their health, most people, there's Mayhem. Just thinking about him this morning. We got to get Mayhem talking about when we're going to get a Zoom one in. When most people think about their health, right, you have something called Covey's quadrants. Quadrant 2 is stuff that's important but not urgent. So most people, when it comes to their health, even though they might have terrible health, it hasn't become urgent yet because they're still making do. They're still able to function in everyday life. Maybe not the way they want to, but it's not to that point of urgency yet. So they keep putting it off. But really think about this. Like, people will pay money to make money, learn how to make money, right? Now, what if you have a lot of money, but your health is terrible? Like, really think about this. It seems obvious. The billionaire that is way out of shape, got disease, type 2 diabetes, joint pain, brain fog, he would do anything to have health. Because if you have all that, which is great, by the way, love money, I think wealth is a great thing. Use it for the right purposes. You would do anything to have your health. So investing in your fitness, and if you have terrible health, really just kind of look and say, what have you actually invested into that? Thank you for all the love, the hearts, guys. What have you actually invested into it? Have you spent, and you can invest your time, efforts, talents, and money. So Mayhem invested all his savings into pork bellies. Gotta get Mayhem. I gotta get another one with him. They should be putting the clips out this week. For some reason, it took forever to upload, but I'm on the guys to get those clips out. You guys are gonna love it. So really think about this. If you're suffering with your health, just look at your actions. How much time are you putting into it? Are you investing, right? Like I said, I invest in stuff sometimes where I know, like, look, if I invest a good, see you later, Mayhem. If I invest a good chunk of change into something I want to do, I know that it's gonna, that alone, the way I am, is gonna make me take the next step. What other investment could you make? Like, think about this. That is going to potentially give you a longer life, barring any accidents. All right? Not too much you can do about accidents, but along with that, when you're in better shape and you're stronger and you have that body armor, you put on a little bit of muscle, it literally makes you harder to kill. And people say, ah, ha, ha. No, no, that's true, guys. Look, I had somebody T-bone me about 15 years ago pretty bad. I was able to get out of the car. I mean, he hit me. He smacked me, dude. Got out of the car, went and checked on the guy. It was an older guy. A lot of people, man, their freaking neck, their head probably would have hit the windshield. Last summer, if you don't recall the story or if you knew, I fell off we were cliff jumping. Now, granted, it was only 12 feet high, but I slipped on a wet rock and I went down hard. Boom, hit the first boulder. Boom, hit the second boulder. Right into the deep water. Devin was mortified. She watched from about 100 feet away. The kids, they were scared when I came out of the water. Didn't have a scratch on me, right? Fitness. Putting body armor on. Knowing how to use my body and be aware of my bodily position, right? Kinesthetic intelligence. So think about this. So investing in your health and fitness. Again, it could be with any way, time, efforts, money. What other investment could potentially give you a longer life and make you harder to kill? Better quality of life. What are you going to want when you're 80 or 90 years old if you're still here? You're going to want to just be wheelchair bound, stuck in a wheelchair where you can't do anything? You're going to be active, participating in the lives of your children, your grandchildren, maybe great-grandchildren. What other investment could give you strength, right? Make you look better. Give you better energy. Energy is the number one asset we have as human beings. And when you get in great health, and it's all relative. I'm not saying you got to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You just get better than you are right now. Like it never ends. Like I'm always trying to get better health from where I'm currently at. It will bleed into every other area of your life. So you basically have 3 buckets in life: health, wealth, and relationships. Everything fits within those. Your faith fits into the relationship. Everything. Those areas improve as you get healthier. So if you look at your life and say, man, my health sucks, man, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, I can't afford anything. Well, you don't think that's correlated? You don't think the quality of relationships is correlated by your energy and your ability to enhance the temple that is your body? There's no investment on earth that will give you a better return than investing into your health and fitness. It'll pay off forever. When you get to your last day, let me tell you, I'll finish with this, because I just hope this connects with some people. Are you investing $20 a month, $10 a month into your health and fitness? Is the extent of your investing in your health and fitness having a membership to Planet Fitness that you never use? All you got to do is look at your actions, guys. Do they align with what you want? Are you investing? I have guys that are literally, in my one-on-one program, they're investing more than $2,000 a month. But guess what? I'm teaching them stuff that they're taking serious, and they're dramatically transforming their life. Right? And it's obvious to see, man, this guy's taking it serious. He's willing to invest. And it's speaking of that too, guys. Any type of coaching, you want to get better. The best in the world have a coach. Any area of life, any profession. I look at, even this past year, right off the top of my head, and it's more than that, but I invest this past year $60,000 into my own personal coaches. $60,000. But get your head around that. And I feel resistance when I do it, just like anybody. Oh man. I said, no, I know this is going to pay off. I know they can give me the shortcuts and the wisdom and just bounce ideas off, and having that mentor, that coach to guide you. But I'll finish with this story. If I asked you guys, not story, it's kind of like a little scenario, hypothetical. If I say, hey, I'm going to give you $1 million, would you take it? No strings attached. Yes. 10 million, of course. All right, what if I'm going to give you $1 billion? Now, there's a string attached to this one, $1 billion, which you can't even comprehend. Most people cannot even comprehend. When you think about, just to put numbers in perspective, even if you're trying to build your social media following and your influence and you want to go down that road, to count to 1 million, okay? To count to 1 million would take 12 straight days without sleep. That's 1 million. To count to 1 billion would take you 32 straight years without sleep. That's like you can't even, like 1 billion is such a large number. I'm going to give you $1 billion. However, I'm going to give it to you tomorrow morning. As soon as you wake up, let's say you get up at 5 or 6 a.m. But that means you don't wake up again the next day. Tomorrow's your last day. That's it. Would you take it? The answer is obvious. You wouldn't take it. Look who came in for the end of the show. There they are.
She's got a leaf in her mouth.
Ainsley and Susie.
She's leaves. Say no.
Right? You would not take it. That's how valuable your health is. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like it. Think about what I talked about. Subscribe. Follow me. Thanks for all the support. And tonight we got Panda Man TV. It goes live at 7:30. So you got to get in the WhatsApp group if you're not in there. If they have access to the link. Catch you guys later.